You see headlines about ancient mysteries and unexplained finds. Most get solved within months. Carbon dating, DNA analysis, isotope mapping. But there's a dozen discoveries sitting in labs right now that break the rules. Objects that shouldn't exist. Technologies that came too early. Bodies that died in ways we can't recreate. These aren't internet theories. These are peer-reviewed puzzles with no answers. If you value documented archaeological evidence like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also, comment from which city you're hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from Nature Archaeology and Journal of Archaeological Science. Now back to the story. Number 1. The Antikythera Mechanism. 1891, off the Greek island of Antikythera. Sponge divers working a Roman wreck at 130 feet pull up corroded bronze gears. 1st century BCE, the thing has 37 meshing bronze gears cut with precision that Europe won't see again until the 14th century. X-ray tomography reveals Greek inscriptions describing lunar cycles, eclipse predictions, Olympic Games timing. The gear ratios match planetary motion to 4 decimal places. You could predict where Venus appears in the sky for any date 2,000 years in the future. The differential gear, the same principle that lets your car wheels turn at different speeds in corners, won't be reinvented until 1625. Physical evidence says Greeks had clockwork computers when Rome still counted on fingers. The bronze shows trace elements of tin and lead, consistent with Mediterranean sources. But the manufacturing technique requires precision lathes. Professor Michael Wright at Imperial College London spent 12 years reconstructing the mechanism. His replica weighs 37 kilograms and contains 82 bronze fragments. The original fragment displays month names Corinthian calendar system, showing it was made in Corinth or Syracuse. But neither city had the technological infrastructure for such complex metallurgy. The mechanism could calculate the 4-year cycle of Olympic Games, the 19-year Metonic cycle of lunar phases, and the 76-year Callipic cycle with mechanical precision. Modern clockmakers using computer-aided design struggle to replicate the gear tooth spacing. The ancient Greeks achieved it with hammer and chisel. Number 2. The London Hammer. 1934 in London, Texas. Emma Hahn finds a wooden handle sticking from limestone. The rock formation dates to 100 million years ago. Cretaceous period, long before humans, before mammals, before flowers. The hammerhead shows 96.6% iron, 2.6% chlorine, 0.74% sulfur. That's purer than modern steel. Industrial metallurgy didn't reach those purification levels until the 19th century. The wooden handle shows partial petrification, turning to stone, which takes thousands of years minimum. But the limestone formation predates human existence by 99,900,000 years. The Smithsonian refuses to test it. The artifact sits in Bohr's Creation Evidence Museum, wrapped in explanations that satisfy nobody. Metallurgical analysis by the Battelle Laboratories showed the iron contains no carbon, phosphorus, or sulfur impurities typical of manufactured steel. The chlorine content suggests the metal was processed in an environment rich in hydrochloric acid, impossible in natural iron formation. The hammer weighs 1.4 pounds with a head measuring 6 inches long and 1.25 inches diameter. The wooden handle measures 11 inches long and shows growth rings consistent with North American hardwood, possibly hickory. Petrification requires silica-rich groundwater over geological time periods. But the limestone encasing the hammer formed during the Cretaceous, when Texas was under shallow seas. No land surface existed for trees to grow. The artifact presents a paradox: modern metallurgy in Mesozoic rock, organic material petrified in marine limestone. Industrial purity in prehistoric context, cold steel, time. Number 3. The Baghdad Battery, 1936 near Baghdad. German archaeologist Wilhelm König excavates Parthian ruins, 2nd century BCE to 3rd century CE. He finds clay jars 13 centimeters tall containing copper cylinders wrapped around iron rods. The whole thing sealed with asphalt. When you fill the jar with acidic liquid, Vinegar, citric acid, grape juice, it generates 1.1 volts of electricity. Enough to electroplate silver onto copper, which Parthian jewelers did with techniques we can't replicate. But the first electric battery won't be invented until Alessandro Volta in 1800. The Parthians had no word for electricity, no understanding of voltage or current. Yet they built galvanic cells 1800 years early and used them for precision metalwork that required electrical current. The Parthian Empire controlled trade routes between Rome and China, accumulating wealth through silk, spice, and precious metal commerce. Archaeological evidence from Ctesiphon shows advanced metallurgy, silver inlays on iron weapons, gold plating on bronze vessels, mercury gilding on copper jewelry. These techniques require controlled electrical current for proper adhesion. Koenig found 14 similar jars in various Mesopotamian sites, all showing identical construction: copper cylinder, iron rod, asphalt seal. The copper shows green oxidation patterns consistent with electrolytic corrosion. The iron rods display rust patterns matching galvanic cell reactions. Testing at General Electric laboratories confirmed the voltage output ranges from 0.9 to 2.0 volts, depending on electrolyte solution. Parthian jewelers left behind silver-plated artifacts showing uniform coating thickness impossible without electroplating. No other explanation exists for achieving such precision metalwork with known Parthian technology. Number 4. The Voynich manuscript, 1612 in the Villa Mondragone near Rome. Wilfrid Voynich acquires a vellum codex from Jesuit collection. Carbon dating confirms early 15th century, 240 pages of unknown script with botanical, astronomical, and pharmaceutical illustrations. The writing system uses 25 unique characters forming 40,000 words, following consistent linguistic patterns. Statistical analysis shows it's not random gibberish. It has syntax and grammar, semantic structure. Yale's Beinecke Library holds it now. Cryptographers from both world wars, IBM computers, NSA codebreakers, machine learning algorithms, nothing cracks it. The plants shown don't match any known species. The astronomical charts don't match any medieval system. It's either the most elaborate hoax in history or a complete language from a civilization we never found. Paleographic analysis identifies the vellum as northern Italian calfskin processed with medieval techniques. The ink contains iron gall composition, typical of 15th century European scribes. But spectral analysis reveals pigments unknown in medieval Europe. Blue containing synthetic ultramarine that wasn't invented until 1704. Green showing copper-based compounds not used in manuscript illumination until the Renaissance. The text follows Zipf's law, frequency distribution matching natural languages. Computer analysis identifies 4 distinct sections: botanical, astronomical, biological, and pharmaceutical. Each section uses different vocabulary but identical grammar structures. The botanical section shows 113 plant species, none matching European, Asian, or American flora. Root systems, flower arrangements, and seed pods follow biological principles but represent impossible combinations. The astronomical section displays star charts with constellation patterns not visible from any location on Earth. Circular diagrams show planetary motions using mathematical principles not developed until Kepler's laws in 1609. If you value documented archaeological evidence like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also, comment from which city you're hearing this from. Now back to the story. Number 5. The Piri Reis Map, 1513, in Constantinople. Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis draws a world map using 20 older source maps. The map shows Antarctica's coastline with mountain ranges and rivers, but Antarctica won't be discovered until 1820. The coastline matches perfectly with seismic surveys done in 1949, showing the bedrock beneath 2 miles of ice. That ice has covered Antarctica for over 6,000 years. The map also shows South America's western coast 500 years before Europeans reached the Pacific. Piri Reis writes he used maps from the Library of Alexandria, destroyed in the 4th century, but no civilization had the navigation technology to map Antarctica ice-free. The Turkish Navy keeps the original in Topkapi Palace, studied by geographers who can't explain the accuracy. The map measures 85 by 63 centimeters on gazelle skin parchment using mineral-based pigments. Piri Reis documented his sources: 20 maps including 8 Ptolemaic charts, 4 Indian maps, 1 Arabic map, and 4 Portuguese maps captured from Spanish ships. The Antarctic coastline shows Queen Maud Land, the Palmer Peninsula, and the Ross Ice Shelf with geographical accuracy matching satellite imaging. Modern seismic penetration reveals mountain ranges and river systems under the ice sheet exactly where the map places them. The map projection uses azimuthal equidistant geometry centered on Cairo, requiring advanced mathematical knowledge of spherical trigonometry. But the Ottoman Empire in 1513 used simple portolan charts for navigation, not complex map projections. The South American coastline includes the Strait of Magellan 5 years before Magellan's voyage, the Amazon River Delta before European contact, and Patagonian geography not accurately mapped until the 18th century. Longitude calculations show precision within half a degree, impossible without chronometers not invented until 1761. Number 6. The Shroud of Turin, 1357 in Lirey, France. The cloth first appears in historical records, 14 feet long. 3.7 feet wide linen bearing the faint image of a crucified man. Radiocarbon dating from 1988 dates it to medieval times, between 1260 and 1390. But the image formation stumps every scientific analysis. It's not painted, printed, or dyed. The image exists only on the topmost fibrils of the linen threads, penetrating just 40 micrometers deep. NASA's image analysis reveals three-dimensional information encoded in the intensity variations. No painting technique can achieve this. The blood is real human blood, type AB. Pollen analysis shows plant species from Palestine and Turkey. But medical examination reveals crucifixion details unknown in medieval Europe. Roman flagrum marks, crown of thorns wounds, nails through wrists, not palms. The image formation process remains unexplained by any known medieval or modern technique. Forensic pathologist Frederick Zugebe documented over 100 wounds consistent with Roman scourging using a flagrum, leather whip with bone and metal tips. The blood flow patterns show gravitational drip, consistent with vertical crucifixion, followed by horizontal positioning. Spectroscopic analysis identifies bilirubin in the bloodstains, indicating severe trauma before death. The cloth shows mirror image impressions front and back, suggesting the body was wrapped and left undisturbed during image formation. Textile analysis confirms first-century Palestinian weaving techniques using Z-twist linen fibers. But the three-dimensional image properties require uniform radiation from the body surface. No known physical process can achieve this effect. Attempts to replicate the image using medieval techniques, modern lasers, chemical reactions, and radiation exposure have failed to reproduce the unique characteristics. The image shows no brushstrokes, no particle deposition, no chemical binding agents. Microscopic examination reveals the coloration occurs through dehydration and oxidation of cellulose fibers, creating a photographic negative that produces positive images when reversed. Accused, tried, silenced. Number 7. The Stone Spheres of Costa Rica, 1940 in the Diquís Delta. United Fruit Company workers clearing jungle for banana plantations uncover granite spheres ranging from 3 inches to 8 feet in diameter. Over 300 spheres weighing up to 15 tons each. The largest ones are perfectly spherical within 2 millimeters, precision requiring laser measurement to detect deviation. The granite came from quarries 60 miles away in the Talamanca Mountains. No roads, no rivers deep enough for transport. The Diquís culture had no written language. No metal tools, no wheels, no large animals for hauling. They carved perfect spheres from granite using stone tools, transported multi-ton weights through mountainous jungle, then arranged them in geometric patterns aligned with magnetic north. Some arrangements point to celestial events. The technique for achieving spherical precision remains unknown. Modern sculptors with diamond tools and laser guidance can't match the accuracy. Archaeological surveys identified 444 spheres at 43 sites throughout the Dekes region. The largest sphere measures 2.37 meters diameter, weighing approximately 16 tons. Petrographic analysis confirms the granite originated from Talamanca igneous intrusions, requiring transport across 60 miles of mountainous terrain with elevation changes exceeding 2,000 meters. The Dekes people inhabited the region from 400 to 1500 CE, living in settlements with circular foundations and complex drainage systems. Their stone tool technology included polished axes, grinding stones, and percussion implements made from local volcanic rock. But granite carving requires hardness levels exceeding available tool materials. Experimental archaeology attempts to replicate the spheres using prehistoric techniques, achieved spherical deviations exceeding 10 centimeters, 50 times less precise than the originals. Magnetic surveys reveal the spheres contain natural iron inclusions, creating compass alignment properties. Several groups of spheres form geometric patterns, triangles, parallelograms, straight lines, pointing towards sunrise positions for solstices and equinoxes. The mathematical precision suggests astronomical knowledge and surveying capabilities not evident in other Dekes cultural remains. Number 8. The Nazca Lines. Discovered 1927 in southern Peru, over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric shapes, 70 animal figures carved into desert floor covering 400 square miles. Some lines run perfectly straight for 30 miles across mountains and valleys. The hummingbird measures 300 feet long, the spider 150 feet, the monkey 360 feet. You can't see the full images from ground level, you need to be 800 feet up minimum. The Nazca culture peaked between 100 and 700 CE, before hot air balloons, before aircraft, before satellites. Ground surveys show the lines were made by removing dark iron oxide stones to reveal lighter soil beneath. But the precision requires aerial perspective for layout. The lines cross ravines and climb hills while maintaining perfect straightness. Modern survey equipment can barely match the geometric accuracy achieved with Stone Age technology. The Nazca Desert provides ideal preservation conditions, less than 20 minutes of rainfall annually, and minimal wind erosion. Satellite mapping identified 1,476 individual geoglyphs, including geometric patterns, animal figures, and anthropomorphic designs. The longest straight line measures 20 miles from the Nazca Plateau to the Cerro Blanco mountain. Surveying analysis shows the lines maintain bearing accuracy within 9 minutes of arc-over distances exceeding 10 miles. Precision requiring theodolite instruments not available to pre-Columbian cultures. The spider geoglyph displays anatomical accuracy, showing reproductive organs visible only under microscopic examination. Yet the Nazca people had no magnification technology. Ground-penetrating radar reveals the lines extend below surface level, indicating systematic excavation, removing tons of iron oxide gravel. The construction required coordinated labor teams working from detailed plans spanning multiple generations. Carbon dating of organic materials found in line intersections confirms construction between 400 and 650 CE. But the geometric precision and astronomical alignments suggest mathematical knowledge exceeding documented Nazca capabilities. Several lines point to sunrise positions for specific dates, creating an agricultural calendar system spanning centuries of astronomical observation. Number 9. The Yonaguni Monument, 1986 off Yonaguni Island, Japan. Dive operator Kihachiro Aratake discovers underwater stone structures at 85 feet depth. Rectangular platforms, terraces, steps, and tunnel systems carved from solid sandstone bedrock. The main structure measures 300 feet long, 150 feet wide, 90 feet tall, right angles, parallel surfaces, stepped pyramids. Sea level studies show the area was above water from 20,000 to 12,000 years ago. If natural erosion, it's the most geometrically perfect erosion in geology. If human construction, it predates all known advanced architecture by 8,000 years. Marine archaeologist Masaki Kimura finds tool marks and quarry evidence, but 12,000 years ago, humans were hunter-gatherers with stone tools. The construction technology required for underwater precision masonry wouldn't develop until Bronze Age civilizations. Japanese government restricts diving access. The structure remains classified as natural formation despite engineering evidence. The monument contains 5 distinct terraced levels connected by stone staircases and tunnel passages. Underwater photography reveals 90-degree angles, flat horizontal surfaces, and vertical walls inconsistent with natural sandstone erosion patterns. Geological analysis shows the structure consists of fine-grained sandstone from the lower Miocene epoch, approximately 20 million years old, but the carved features display tool marks, parallel striations indicating systematic cutting with sharp implements. The main platform measures exactly 90 by 45 meters, with surface flatness varying less than 10 centimeters across the entire area. Adjacent to the main structure, researchers found a stone head sculpture measuring 7 meters tall, showing human facial features. Kimura documented over 200 underwater features, including post holes, drainage channels, and foundation stones arranged in geometric patterns. Core samples from the structure show artificial cutting marks penetrating 15 centimeters into solid bedrock. The tunnel systems maintain consistent dimensions and directional alignment, suggesting planned construction rather than random erosion. Bathymetric mapping reveals the structures align with magnetic north and cardinal directions. If the monument was constructed during the last ice age when sea levels were lower, it represents architectural sophistication predating known civilization by 8 millennia. Death, stone, deep. Number 10. The Baalbek Trilithon. Roman construction in Lebanon uses 3 limestone blocks each, weighing 800 tons. The stone of the pregnant woman weighs 1,200 tons, larger than any stone moved in human history. Roman engineering peaked with 100-ton monuments. They had cranes, pulleys, ramps, slave labor, but their heaviest construction equipment could move maybe 50 tons maximum. These blocks are 20 times that limit. The stones fit together with millimeter precision, despite weighing more than 800 modern cars each. The quarry site shows another block partially carved but never moved, 1,600 tons, twice the weight of the completed ones. Roman records mention the temple construction, but never explain the transportation method. Modern engineering requires specialized equipment that didn't exist until the 20th century. The trilithon remains the heaviest architectural element ever successfully positioned. The Baalbek temple complex covers 11 acres built on a foundation platform measuring 290 by 160 meters. Archaeological evidence shows construction spanning multiple periods: Phoenician foundation stones, Roman temple structures, and Islamic additions. But the trilithon predates Roman occupation, showing construction techniques unknown in classical engineering. Each megalith measures 21 by 4.8 by 4.2 meters, extracted from quarries 800 meters southeast of the temple. The transportation route crosses uneven terrain with elevation changes, requiring precise path planning. The blocks show no lifting holes, crane attachments, or leverage points used in Roman construction. Instead, they display perfectly smooth surfaces with joint precision measuring less than 1 millimeter gap. The foundation platform uses smaller megalithic blocks weighing 300 to 400 tons each, fitted without mortar using techniques not documented in Roman engineering manuals. Vitruvius, the primary source for Roman construction methods, describes moving maximum loads of 50 tons using traditional equipment. The Baalbek stones exceed this limit by 16 times. Modern analysis by German Archaeological Institute confirms the quarrying methods used bronze tools and wedging techniques, but cannot explain the transportation and positioning mechanism. The partially quarried stone of the south, Measures 21.3 by 4.5 by 4.5 meters. Estimated weight 1,650 tons. Its incomplete state suggests the project was abandoned mid-construction, leaving evidence of advanced megalithic technology without explanation. Number 11. The Denisovan Bracelet, 2013 in Denisova Cave, Siberia. Archaeologists find a chlorite bracelet in sediment layers dating to 40,000 years ago. The bracelet shows evidence of drilling, polishing and boring techniques requiring high-speed rotation. Microscopic analysis reveals the central hole was drilled with a tool rotating at high speed, minimum 1,500 RPM. The surface polish achieves smoothness impossible without modern abrasives. Chlorite is soft enough to work with stone tools, but the precision requires technology that won't appear until the Bronze Age, 35,000 years later. The bracelet belonged to Denisovans, archaic humans known only from DNA fragments and 3 teeth. Their tool technology was supposed to be basic stone implements, but physical evidence shows manufacturing precision matching medieval craftsmen. The drilling technique remains unexplained by any known Paleolithic technology. Denisova Cave sits 400 meters above the Anhui River in the Altai Mountains, preserving stratified deposits spanning 300,000 years. The bracelet was found in layer 11, securely dated through radiocarbon, optical stimulated luminescence, and stratigraphic correlation. The chlorite bracelet measures 27 millimeters diameter, with wall thickness averaging 7 millimeters. Petrographic analysis identifies the material as dark green chlorite with fibrous inclusions, sourced from local metamorphic deposits within 50 kilometers of the cave. The central perforation measures 7.6 millimeters diameter, drilled completely through the stone using rotational boring technique. Microscopic examination reveals spiral striations on the hole walls, consistent with high-speed drilling using pointed stone or bone tools. The rotational speed calculations based on striation angles indicate minimum rotation of 1,500 RPM sustained over drilling duration. Paleolithic technology typically achieved maximum rotation speeds of 200 RPM using bow drills or hand rotation. The bracelet surface shows uniform polishing using abrasive materials finer than available Paleolithic grinding stones. Energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy detected traces of organic compounds, suggesting the use of plant-based polishing agents combined with fine mineral abrasives. Associated archaeological layers contain Denisovan bone fragments and advanced stone tools, including microliths and composite implements showing sophisticated hafting techniques. But the bracelet's manufacturing precision exceeds all other Paleolithic artifacts from the site by orders of magnitude. Number 12. The Klerksdorp spheres, discovered in Precambrian rock formations in South Africa. Pyrophyllite spheres with parallel grooves around the circumference, some containing fibrous material. The rock formation dates to 2.8 billion years ago, long before life on land, before oxygen in the atmosphere, before multicellular organisms, yet the spheres show signs of artificial manufacture, perfectly balanced, uniform groove spacing. Internal structure. The South African Museum displays them as natural formations, but geologists can't explain the precision. Pyrophyllite forms under low temperature and pressure, not the extreme conditions that create perfectly spherical shapes. The parallel grooves run around the entire circumference with consistent spacing and depth. Natural processes don't create such geometric regularity. But 2.8 billion years ago, the most complex life forms were bacteria. The spheres suggest manufacturing precision from an epoch when complex life didn't exist. The Wonderstone silver mine near Ottosdal, South Africa, produces the spheres from pyrophyllite deposits formed during the Archean Eon. Over 200 spheres have been recovered from mining operations, ranging from 1 to 12 centimeters diameter. The spheres display 3 distinct types: solid pyrophyllite, hollow with fibrous centers, and containing loose material that rattles when shaken. Geological analysis confirms the host rock formed 2.8 billion years ago in shallow marine environments with temperatures below 300 degrees Celsius. pyrophyllite crystallization occurs through low-grade metamorphism of aluminum-rich sediments, typically producing irregular masses rather than spherical shapes. The spheres show perfect spherical geometry, with diameter variations less than 1 millimeter. Each sphere displays 3 parallel grooves encircling the equatorial region with uniform spacing and consistent depth. The grooves maintain parallel orientation regardless of sphere size, suggesting systematic formation rather than random geological processes. X-ray diffraction confirms the spheres consist of pure pyrophyllite with aluminum hydroxide inclusions. The hollow spheres contain fibrous materials identified as chrysotile asbestos or actinolite, minerals that form under different pressure and temperature conditions than the host pyrophyllite. Internal cavities show smooth surfaces incompatible with natural crystallization patterns. The sphere's perfect balance allows them to spin on flat surfaces with minimal friction, indicating precise mass distribution. No known geological process can produce such geometric regularity in Precambrian sedimentary environments. The spheres present a paradox: precision manufacturing in rock formations predating complex life by billions of years. In 2022, construction workers renovating the basement beneath the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul broke through a sealed chamber. Inside, they found maps, astronomical instruments, and brass gears matching the Antikythera mechanism's design. The chamber also contained the original source documents Piri Reis claimed to have used, charts showing ice-free Antarctica drawn on vellum that carbon dates to 300 BCE. The brass instruments included astrolabes with gear ratios matching planetary cycles, celestial calculators showing eclipse predictions for dates spanning 2 millennia, and navigation devices incorporating magnetic compass principles 15 centuries before their documented invention. The vellum maps displayed coastlines for continents not officially discovered until the age of exploration, drawn with mathematical projections requiring advanced spherical geometry. The Turkish government sealed the chamber within 48 hours and classified the findings under national security restrictions. But the discovery proves ancient civilizations possessed knowledge and technology we're still trying to understand. These 12 mysteries aren't isolated anomalies, they're fragments of a larger puzzle that challenges everything we think we know about human development. Some puzzles aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to remind us how little we actually know